You don't get a seat at the table because you've earned it. You get it because you made yourself too valuable to exclude. Let's get one thing straight. In that room where decisions get made, every extra person in the room slows decisions down. So the door is not open by default. If you want influence, if you want to get in that room, you cannot request influence. You have to invoice for it. You show up with one constraint, one cost, one fix, and one decision that they have to make, and they will start inviting you. If you're sick of being treated like a cost center, if you're tired of hearing your CEO say, just hire faster, giving you zero leverage and no extra budget, if you've been trying to explain that employer brand is so much more strategic than just a pretty website, well, you're ready for the next revolution in talent and people. Welcome. I'm James Ellis, and this is Becoming Choosable. And together, we can grow your company from the hire up. Let's show leadership that recruiting, HR, employer brand driving businesses forward by turning people work into growth work. You ready? Well, let's see what the claw machine of destiny has for us today. Hey there, People Team Rebels. Welcome to another edition of Becoming Choosable. I'm James Ellis, and this week's theme, according to the magic claw machine of destiny, is influence. I love influence. When you have influence, it's not about being likable. It's about being unavoidable. It's having the ability to make change. And frankly, for talent acquisition, employer branding, that's a huge, huge thing. Because the seat at the table you want is not given away. It is invoiced for. But first, I need to ruin a comfortable fantasy. That room where decisions get made, it is not a friendly place. It's not a meritocracy. It is not open mic night. Every extra person added to that meeting slows everything down. More voices, more opinions, more coordination, more delay. There's a reason that leaders are really stingy with those invitations, which means that this isn't about waiting your turn. There is no turn. Seats get purchased with value. Not requesting with effort, not earned with good behavior, not awarded for suffering. And if that feels unfair, hi, how you doing? Welcome to business. Get yourself a helmet. You know, Amazon has that document of all the things that it believes in and all the criteria for leadership and how it wants to proceed. It's a great document. Hunt it down if you haven't seen it. One of the ideas is the ability to disagree and commit. That is, we don't need to have consensus where everybody in the room agrees that this is the right choice of action, because that tends to lead to compromises. Instead, everybody puts forth their argument. Everybody else can push back on it, and you're going to debate really hard. But once the decision is made, you, even if you disagree with it, have to commit to doing it. No dragging your heels, nothing like that. Because look, I don't know about you, but I've been in too many rooms where everybody kind of agreed to an idea or in a process, and then two people sabotaged the decision afterwards. They drugged their feet. They slowed things down. They were throwing thumbtacks under everybody else's feet. That isn't disagree and commit. That's disagree and be a pain in the ass. And leadership hates that. And it's one reason why they keep the room small. So if you want to be in the room, you got to act like someone who can handle being in the big room. You got to have clarity. You got to have conviction. And you got to have commitment. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Most leaders don't disrespect HR. They just don't experience HR as value. They experience it as a tax. It's the vegetable you got to eat. It's necessary to get to the steak. It's not exciting. And I'm not here to say broccoli and vegetables are bad. Broccoli can be delicious. Beets are disgusting. No, nobody wants beets. But broccoli can be great. This is a separate conversation. If every time leadership looks at your function and you bring problems, I'm sorry, the talent isn't there. Or I'm sorry, we need to pay more. Or I'm sorry, hiring managers won't cooperate. Or I'm sorry, we're working as hard as we can. You are not a seat at the table function. You're a status update function. I'm sorry. Effort doesn't buy influence. Constraint removal does. See, if you want the seat, you have to show that you can change the business outcome, not by being busy, but by removing bottlenecks. Let's take an example of time to fill. Now, I know time to fill is kind of a bullshit metric, but it's a metric everybody has to wrestle with on some level. So let's fix it. So if a business gets mad at you because hiring takes too long, your instinct may be to defend yourself or defend the team or defend the function. Don't. Instead, you want to say something like, yeah, we can get you the talent in half the time, but it's going to take 6 months to build a brand new system. We won't be stopping hiring during the transition, but the future state is all pipeline driven, not job board driven. You'll have 3 candidates in your pocket when you need them, not after 3 months of panic. That is not a complaint. That's a plan with trade-offs and a timeline and a clear future state. That is invoiceable language, and leaders understand invoices. You need to speak in P&L terms, which means leadership isn't there and they're not excited to buy activity. They want to buy outcomes. They want to see you change the cost of vacancy, the cost of delay, the cost of leakage. They want to change the way the regretted attrition happens. They want to lower the ad tax. They want to be more predictable. They don't need perfect data to start. Trend lines beat spreadsheets as confetti all day long. Anecdotes are fine, but proof is how you stay out of the weeds. So stop trying to win the room with a dashboard dump. Win it with one problem, one cost, one solution. So here's the 4-line executive update that buys you more influence. It's really simple, and I want you to steal it. The first line is constraint. Here is the bottleneck. Here's the problem. Here's what's slowing us down. Here's what the challenge is. Here's what the obstacle is. Line 2, cost. Here's what this is costing us now, and here's what the delay will cost. Very simple. These are numbers you can collect, you can find. Line 3, action. Here are 1 or 2 options on how we would fix this. Now, be smart. Don't look for Band-Aids. If you're going to get their attention and you're going to solve a problem, not support a problem, not going to sand the edges off a problem, but completely solve a problem, they understand that it might take money, resources, and time to make that big change happen. Don't shy away from it. Don't soft play the cost. Be crystal clear. You can have a simple option and a bigger long-term option, but give them those options and what they cost. Line 4, here's the decision we need to make. Not an ask. Sorry. Line 4, here is the decision we need to make. Just one ask, not 12. That is how executives think. They think trade-offs, they think choice, they think consequences. And trade-offs are your secret weapon because business is all about trade-offs. You can go faster or you can go perfect. You can't do both. You can be effective or you can be efficient. Pick one. And when you speak in trade-offs, you force clarity, and clarity earns trust. So here's one thing you're probably measuring wrong. If you're measuring your function by efficiency alone, you are playing the wrong game. Lowering cost per hire is not the same as higher growth capacity. The business doesn't need cheaper recruiting teams. It needs recruiting systems that prevent delays and creates predictable talent supply. They want to make sure you're bringing the best possible talent. Measure constraint removal, not activity. The best way to get in the room is to stop asking for a seat. It's to bring decisions that leadership needs to make, right? You want to show the constraint. You want to show the growth cost. Here are the options. Here's the decision. And that's what turns people work into business outcomes and what turns skeptics into people who are big fans. Now, obviously, if you're making a big change, the business and frankly, most of the world is going to say no. They're going to give you a lot of objections and a lot of reasons why you should do it the same way you've always done it and frankly, the same way every other company does it. So you better arm yourself for that pushback. So if some leader asks, why are you in this meeting? You're going to say things like, well, because the constraint we're facing is slowing revenue and delivery, and I'm here with options and a decision. I'm not here with a status update. That'll blow their hair back. If the CFO says, I'm not sure why you're here. I'm not here. I can't approve more headcount. I need you to be more efficient. You can say, we can optimize for efficiency or effectiveness. If the priority is growth, we need effectiveness first, and then we add the efficiency. Here are the trade-offs and costs for each path. Again, you're going to rock them on their heels. When some bright executive says, you're asking for budget with no guarantees. Spoiler, nothing's guaranteed in this world. And you can tell them that. You can say there isn't a project in this world, in this whole company that's guaranteed success. This is going to reduce the cost of delay and improve predictability. Here's the trend line, and we're going to move towards the checkpoint dates. They can't say no to this. So how do you make this real? Well, start with solving one problem. Send that 4-line executive update this Friday. In fact, do one every week for 4 weeks, one problem at a time, and you will be stunned what happens. Pick one constraint that you can prove is real, like offer acceptance rate is slipping, late stage drop-offs are up, time to schedule is killing candidates, hire manager feedback is in the bottle, is the real problem here. And you're going to write what's the constraint, what's the cost, what's the action, what's the decision needed. Now, here's the most important part. You're going to make it a decision memo, not a performance report. That is how you stop begging for a seat, because your value creates its own invoice. That is how you get your seat at the table. That's how you get invited to show up and bring your value. That is how you help grow your company from the higher up. Look, Seats at the table are bought with value. So stop reporting your effort. Stop being the good little child. Remove constraints. Show your value. And if you want help, share this episode with a people leader or an executive who you think might help you. Show them that you are ready to accept and get the influence so that you can be in that room and that you can help the company grow from the higher up. Thanks so much for listening. I'm James Ellis, and I'll see you next week.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss an episode. This podcast is brought to you by Becoming Choosable, available at Amazon as a paperback or ebook. And by Employer Brand Labs. Make your priority roles choosable in 30 days, because you can't outspend them, but you can out-clarify them.